celebrate the 5th year of the list. As Bina mentioned earlier, we've had more nominees than we've ever had in the previous 4 years. This year we extended our heritage reach to include Western Asia, so the list now spans a geographic zone from Cairo to Tokyo, and the sectors that the nominees come from has also widened to include the newer technologies. As this is the 5th year, I thought it worth reflecting on the fact that the first list was jointly launched by the Minister of Digital Economy and the Acting High Commissioner of India to the UK. Since then, we have welcomed His Royal Highness the Duke of York, founder of the Picture Palace competition. We have heard from Nikhil Rathi, CEO of the London Stock Exchange, and we have previously awarded Dinesh Dhamija, founder of eBookers, and I saw Dinesh earlier. Where is he? Was he left? I'm not surprised he's left. He's become a member of the European Parliament. We've also awarded Shankar Narayanan, head of UK and Ireland for Tata Consultancy Services, and Professor Shafi Ahmed, pioneering virtual surgeon. Now, Shafi I did see earlier. Is he still here? Yes. And the star of Channel 5's Operation Live. Last year, we welcomed Jacqueline De Rojas, President of Tech UK and Digital Leaders, and co-chair of the Institute of Coding, and we're delighted to award Monica Kalia, co-founder and chief strategy officer at wellbeing provider Neighbour. And we were also pleased last year that Diversity UK was welcomed by the London Stock Exchange Group, a very memorable occasion which many of you were able to join us for. So, let me just get my own clicker. Having a technical problem here. Oh, there we go. So each year, these are some of the people I've mentioned. Each year, when the process of compiling this list starts, I always get asked 2 questions. So first I get asked, how does one make it onto the list? What are the judging criteria? And the answer to that is quite simple. First, you have to have reached a level of success in your field. Being Asian isn't enough on its own. Being Asian. You must also meet the eligibility criteria, such as being based primarily in the UK. We want to support the UK tech sector. And you must be working in the tech sector. We then have a judging panel who will assess your nomination for impact, whether you have displayed a significant level of innovation with your business idea, and what influence it has had. And finally, if you can demonstrate extensive knowledge and know-how in your field or sector of technology. So really, that's all it takes, just those 5 things. Secondly, I get asked about which categories are considered. Obviously, tech startups are a key category, and we consider a startup that is one that is less than 5 years old. But we also like to consider corporates, that people working in tech businesses. We like to consider, obviously, investors are a very key part of the list, as are women, who at 19% are still very much underrepresented in the tech industry. The final category is one which changes each year, and this year we focused on health tech, having previously considered ed tech, fintech, digital entrepreneurs, social entrepreneurs in creative industries. So the last part of the selection process for the list is for a stellar panel of judges to choose their final 100. My thanks to the amazing judges who joined me this year, including Mo Aldalu, Entrepreneur Engagement Manager at Tech Nation, Simon Calver, Head of Investments at BGF Ventures, Paolo Cunha, Head of Advisors and Investors at the London Stock Exchange Group, Elite Programme, Harry Rees-Davies, AI/ML Programme Lead at Tech Nation, Patrick Imbach, CFO at Goldstein, Dilip Joshi MBE, Chair at Diversity UK, who's also Chair of the judging panel, Sarah Lutsford, Director of Executive Search and Talent Development at NextSec Leaders, Gurpreet Mankur, I've just seen her, she's here in the room, thank you Gur, Deputy Director General and Director of Policy at BVCA, Andy Mia, who's Chair of Science Communications at the University of Salford, Naomi Timperley, co-founder of Tech North Advocates, Elizabeth Varley, founder and CEO of Tech Hub, Charlotte Walker-Osborne, Partner and International Head of the Tech Sector for Evershed Sutherland, and Guy Weaver, Director at Priority Ventures. So please join me in thanking the judges. It's pleasing to note how well the list has developed over the past year, reflecting, I think, partly the growth of the tech sector overall for this country. This year, I was really thrilled that 41% of the nominees are new to the list. Startup founders and co-founders obviously very critical, and they made up 33% of the list, and 32% were people who work in businesses and corporates. 15% are investors, and for investors we include everybody, angel investors through to VCs and incubators and private equity. And health tech came in at 15%, and the balance was made up 5% of creative and technologists. So it's a really healthy spread of sectors represented. I was also delighted that Asian women made up 32% of the list, which is way above average overall. So here it is. The list, hooray! Hopefully I have more than one copy to give you. But I do like to keep your attention, if I can, on the nominees. So please do pick up one of the brochures on your way out. What I'd like to talk about now is that we have 5 categories that we recognise. And the categories are top 5 business, top 5 health tech, top 5 investors, top 5 startups, and top 5 women. So top 5 in business. So the business category is broad, including all those who are leading digital transformation in corporate, as well as those who are running enterprises that are beyond the startup phase. So the names I'm going to mention now are presented in first name order. They're not ranked. We don't rank the list. It's a list presented as 100 people. Top 5 in business, Chintan Patel, Chief Technology at Cisco UK and Ireland, who leads a team of technologists in AI, cybersecurity and 5G mobile networks, among others. And I think he's in the audience somewhere. Yes, here we are. Secondly, we have Ayman Jawawi, co-founder and CEO of Onfido, the UK's fastest growing machine learning company. Including Hussein Said, co-founder and CEO of Untitled, which helps businesses digitally onboard users. And they do this by verifying any government ID and comparing it to a person's facial biometrics using machine learning. So it's very clever technology, and which is very much discussed in the mainstream. We then have Rishi Khosla, co-founder and CEO of Oak North Bank, a global fintech firm which is valued at $2.8 billion and focused entirely on lending to SMEs. And finally, we have Saurabh Chopra, co-founder and CEO of Perkbox, which is Europe's fastest growing employee experience platform. I should have a cue. What now? So the top 5 in health tech. The health tech industry has really embraced digital technology to improve patient care and well-being, to enhance quality of life, and for me, the best thing, to add greater productivity and lower costs to the NHS. So the top 5 in health tech are Avi Mehra, co-founder and managing director of Doctor Entrepreneurs, which is a platform for doctor and medical students interested in healthcare innovation and entrepreneurship. Devika Wood, co-founder and CMO at VitaCare, a home care provider that leverages smart technology to deliver outstanding care. Maruf Ahmed, co-founder and COO of Digital Therapeutics, which created Quit Genius, a gamified behavioural therapy app to help smokers quit. And we all know how much smoking costs the NHS. Noor Shaker, co-founder and CEO of GTN, a startup that uniquely combines machine learning with quantum physics to discover new medicines. And finally, Sandeep Bansal, co-founder and CEO of Medically, which enables doctors and nurses to communicate and collaborate within and across the healthcare sectors. The top 5 in health tech. So the top 5 investors, and this was very interesting this year because they're all new, and They are from venture capital firms, interestingly, investing largely in Europe, which I thought was interesting given the Brexit debate, but here we go. So the top 5 investors are Arnie Sriskandaraja, Managing Director of Round Hill Ventures, Imran Gori, Partner at Blossom Capital, Krishna Viswanathan, Co-Founder and Partner at Crane Venture Partners, Mo Anise, Investment Director at Living Bridge, and Priya Guha, Venture Partner at Marian Ventures. So, top 5 startups. This is always the most keenly contested category, and this year was no different. This year's top 5 startups are Ishan Malhi, Founder and CEO of Trussell, Jaya Chakrabarti MBE, CEO of Tisk Report, which tackles slavery in supply chains, Musal Hidayat, Founder and CEO of Chatterbox, an online language learning platform for professionals and businesses, Puneet Chopra, Co-Founder and CTO of Headlight AI, who you've just heard from, and Sheenu Chawla, who is Co-Founder and CEO of Scale Labs, which is an AI and machine learning startups helping enterprises to transform customer experiences. So every year we debate about the women's category. Do we need a women's category? And of course we still do need it when the industry itself is so underrepresented. This year I was really, really pleased that women were more than able to hold their own in all the other 4 categories and made up nearly a third of the list overall. However, we would like to recognise the top 5 women on the list, who are Devika Wood, co-founder and CMO of VitaCare, a home care provider that leverages smart technology, Anadi Jabado, who is Director of Enterprise at Cambridge Judge Business School, and she supports early stage businesses in healthcare and technology. Jacqueline De Rojas, CBE, President of Tech UK and Digital Leaders and co-chair of the Institute of Coding, who has single-handedly inspired a generation of digital leaders. Lou Lee, Founder and CEO of Blooming Founders, who provide female-friendly co-working spaces. And Priya Lakhani, OBE, Founder and CEO of Century Tech, an AI-based learning platform for teachers and students.